In dramatic footage from the front lines of Donetsk, a Ukrainian Special Forces unit once again demonstrated its prowess through precision operations using FPV drones. The dramatic footage shows a convoy of Russian assault motorcycle riders becoming easy targets for Ukraine's modern combat technology in a single operation. The 40 Russian motorcycle riders attempting to break through Ukrainian defenses met a tragic end. They attempted to maneuver quickly across open terrain, but were unable to avoid the speed and precision of the unmanned aerial attack. In the convoy, Russian troops attempting to penetrate Ukrainian defenses at high speed on their motorcycles became easy targets in the open terrain. One by one, the motorcycles ridden by Russian troops were struck by FPV drones which hurtled toward their targets. Explosions rang out as the FPV drones struck, sending the attackers' bodies and vehicles flying helplessly. The flames that signaled the collapse of the assault group's advance, their attempt to reinforce the offensive in the Donetsk sector, turned into a disaster. The Ukrainian SOF unit expressed its appreciation to its frontline comrades for the success of this operation. "Thank you to the comrades from the frontline units," read a short message accompanying the release of the footage, paying tribute to the solid cooperation between units that protected Donetsk from relentless attacks. Now, the superior use of FPV drones has once again proven that technology can be decisive on the modern battlefield, even against overwhelming numbers. Overall, this success is not just a tactical victory, but a tangible symbol of Ukrainian technology's ability to limit enemy maneuverability on the front lines. The FPV drones, with their speed and deadly accuracy, turned a Russian blitzkrieg attempt into a major disaster. For the Russian forces, this failure is a bittersweet reminder. The rapid tactics used with light vehicles like motorcycles, previously considered effective, have now proven incompetent against the precision of electronic surveillance and the destructive power of Ukrainian FPV drones. Currently, Ukrainian forces have reportedly broken through Russian lines near Pokrovsk, potentially cutting off over 1,000 of Putin's troops. Pokrovsk continues to be one of the hottest areas on the front lines in Ukraine, the scene of fierce fighting. The city is a key logistical hub on the Eastern Front and has come under intense Russian attacks as Putin's army strives for a major breakthrough in Donetsk. Just prior to the Alaska Peace Summit, the Kremlin believed it had finally broken the years-long resistance of Ukraine's army that has heroically been defending the city. Russian units were able to drive through exposed defenses near Dobropilya and push 6 miles behind the front line in just 48 hours. Their aim was to cut off Pokrovsk and the city of Kramatorsk, another vital stronghold in the Donbass still under Ukraine's control. However, Ukraine's military command responded by rushing reserve troops to the area, who, in recent days, have launched their own counteroffensive, retaking territory and capturing Russian soldiers. According to pro-Kremlin military bloggers, Ukraine's army has succeeded in breaching Russian defenses and achieving a 4-kilometer breakthrough in the area. Units are now attempting to capture the village of Merne, with reports of fierce battles raging in the settlement's center. Ukrainian military bloggers have noted that Russian units in the area now face the stark possibility of being surrounded and cut off. One wrote, "If the offensive develops successfully, a large Russian force, reportedly more than 1,000 soldiers, could face the threat of encirclement, and about 130 square kilometers of territory could be regained, which would almost completely neutralize Russia's earlier gains and secure the city of Pokrovsk from the eastern flank." Two Russian soldiers from the 5th Separate Motor Rifle Brigade fighting near Merne posted a video to their social media channel, describing the bleak situation they are facing. "There were only 2 of us left from the group," they said. We asked the commander to let us retreat, but he refused. He said if we roll back, he'll reset us himself. We turned off the radio, threw away the machine guns, and decided the only option left is to surrender. We are alive, not killed, and not wounded. Ukraine's Armed Forces Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrskyi confirmed the capture of 3 villages in a statement, while acknowledging the situation still remained precarious. Our troops successfully counterattacked and cleared the villages in the Donetsk region, Mikhailivka, Zelenye Gay, Volodymyrivka, from the enemy, he said. Meanwhile, Ukraine's army successfully identified and destroyed the command post of the elite Russian Rubicon drone group in Donetsk. The specialist Russian unit was set up about a year ago and has inflicted serious damage on Ukraine's army, destroying thousands of pieces of equipment, drones, and killing and injuring many soldiers. Meanwhile, these reinforcements may slow Ukrainian advances temporarily. They lack the depth and organization to mount a meaningful defense. Overall, in Sumy Oblast, the narrative has shifted entirely, and what began as a Ukrainian defensive effort has evolved into offensive momentum that is dismantling Russian positions piece by piece. For Russia, the situation is a bitter reversal, as it was just weeks ago that President Vladimir Putin himself issued aggressive statements about pushing into Sumy and even threatening the regional capital. Without fresh reserves or a radical change in operational approach, Russia is poised to lose even more ground, and with it, any lingering credibility in its ability to threaten the city of Sumy again. Ukrainian defensive plans not only absorbed the initial Russian pressure, but have now turned the tide, enabling methodical counterattacks that are pushing Russian forces back across the sector. Meanwhile, the most likely scenario is increasingly intense assaults by Moscow's troops in multiple sectors along the front. But most observers question whether the Russian army will be able to defeat Ukraine's armed forces, as Moscow seems to think it can. The official Kremlin view is that a ceasefire preventing an offensive of tens of thousands of fresh Russian troops launched into battle would be to Ukraine's benefit, because Ukraine is losing the manpower battle.